Hello students, in previous lecture we have solved 6 to 7 examples on Euler's theory, or we have applied Euler's formula to solve the different examples based on hollow circular section, hollow rectangular section, solid circular sections. Okay, so in this particular lecture again we are going to discuss few more examples on Euler's formula. In your final examination, definitely there will be one or two problems based on this column theory. So it is very important to solve the problems. Everybody should able to solve these numericals because numericals are very simple. Here you have to use either Euler's formula or Rankine's formula. Carefully you have to calculate mi. Carefully you have to put the end condition and its effective length. Then there is no chance of any mistakes. So here it is the Euler's formula. Already you know that P is equal to pi square EI minimum upon L square. We are going to use this equation to solve the problems. See the first example. An alloy tube of 25 mm internal diameter and 40 mm external diameter, when subjected to axial forces of 60 kilonewton, undergoes an extension of 3.84 mm over its length of 3 meter. What is the shape load carrying capacity of column when one end of the column is fixed and other end is hinged? Take factor of safety as a 4. Now see, this problem is quite different from previous one. Procedure of solving is same, but whatever data is given it is somewhat different. An alloy tube of external diameter and internal diameter means it is a hollow alloy tube. Internal diameter is 25 mm and external is 40 mm. This is external diameter, capital B, this will be the internal diameter. It is subjected to axial force. Axial force is given as 60 kilonewton. Okay. So, and what is given next? 3.84 mm is the extension over the length of 3 meter. Means length is given, delta L is given, length is given, axial load is given. Means whenever we know all these things, we can use the formula for delta L from unit 1, stress and strain. This delta L is equal to PL upon E, stress upon strain, PL upon E. So P is known, it is axial load. In this particular formula, we are using all the axial terms. So length also it is not effective length, it is the actual length in the delta L is equal to PL by E formula. So put P here, put length here, area pi by 4, capital D raised to 4 minus small d raised to 4. This is capital D, small d. Then delta L is known 3.84. You put that delta L here, and unknown is only E. Means for what purpose we are doing this exercise? To know the value of E, because E is not mentioned in the problem, but to calculate the E, sufficient data is available, and that value of E is 61.244 into 10 to power 3 Newton per mm square. Newton per mm square means what? It is MPa, megapascal. So after knowing E, then you can use Euler's formula. But what is the end condition mentioned here? One end of the column is fixed and other end is hinged. Okay. So for this particular column, initially you find out its area, find out moment of inertia. Area will be pi by 4 d square minus small d square. We will get the area. Moment of inertia for circular section, Ixx and Iyy both are same. So pi by 64 capital D raised to 4 minus small d raised to 4. We will get mi of that particular hollow section. End condition is one end is fixed, other is hinged. So L is equal to L by root 2. You will get the effective length 2121.32 mm, and then you have to calculate the crippling load. Crippling load or buckling load or crushing load, all are same. So P is equal to, this is Euler's formula, pi square EI minimum upon L square. Okay. So you have to calculate the Euler's load. So pi square into E, we have just calculated E here, this one. Okay. Into 106 moment of inertia, this one, and it is effective length is given here. So by solving this, we will get the value of Euler's load, and in the problem factor of safety is mentioned 4. So when Euler's load is known, you can find out the safe load. So safe load will be Euler's load by factor of safety. You will get the value of safe load, that is 3.57 kilonewton. Okay, so this is the first problem, very simple. All the things you have to do systematically and don't do any calculation mistake, otherwise unnecessarily will lose marks in simple problems. See next problem. A T section of 150 by 120 by 20 mm is used as a mild steel strut. Strut means what? Column of 4-meter length, hinged at both the ends. Calculate the crippling load if Young's modulus is 200 GPa. So what is given here? T section is given, means this type of T section is used as a column. इसको column करके use किया हुआ है, means load will be axial. Length is 4 meter, that is 4000 mm. Both ends are hinged, means L is equal to L itself. So length of the column is L itself, that is 4000 mm. So first of all, whenever such a sections are given, it is unsymmetrical sections. It is symmetrical about y axis, it will have two equal parts, but it is not symmetrical about x axis. So we need to calculate y bar, and x bar here it will be half of 150. So x bar will be half of 150, that is 75 mm, but y bar is not known, that you have to calculate from bottom. This will be y bar. And how to calculate that? You have solved these problems in mechanics. How to calculate y bar? A1 y1 plus a2 y2 divided by a1 plus a2. So I have called this particular section as a section 1. Now this one is the section 1. Up to what point? Up to this point it will be section 1. So a1 is, this total is 120, means from that you deduct this 20, here you will get this as a 100. 100 into 20 will be a1. Section 2 is 150 into 20, that is E2. Y1 means what? Center of this particular figure from bottom, it will be half of 100, that is 50 mm. Then center of this section 2 from bottom, it will be this 100, this 100 plus 20 by 2 means 10, means 110 mm. And if you put here A1, Y1, A2, Y2, you will get Y bar, and Y bar is 98.89 mm. Okay, so 98.89 means total is 100, is Y bar is somewhat here, from the bottom it is 98 mm. Okay, why this Y bar is needed? Because in Euler's formula we are having the term I minimum, moment of inertia. To use the Euler's formula, pi square E I minimum upon L square. Here I is not given, so we have to calculate I, and to calculate I we should know Y bar. Okay, now see the given figure. So I have shown this as a Y bar. So what Y bar we have calculated here? So this Y bar is 98.89. So this Y bar is 98.89. This one is 98.89. This is Y bar, this particular distance. So moment of inertia T section का कैसे निकालते हैं? We are going to use this formula. Ixx is equal to b1 d1 cube by 12 plus a1 h1 square. This is for first section. Similarly, b2 d2 cube by 12 plus a2 h2 square. This is for second section. So here you have to use parallel axis theorem. Here you have to use parallel axis theorem because it is unsymmetrical section. Now what is B1? B1 means this width, D1 means this width, B2 means this particular width, and D2 means this width. Okay. And what is H1 and H2? Here H1 and H2 terms are there. H1 is nothing but individual axis of the member, means this center of this 100 will be at 50 mm, and in the Y bar of the section, that is at 98.89 mm. So difference between these two axes is nothing but Y1. But how to calculate that? H1 to be calculated using formula Y bar minus Y1, you will get H1, and Y bar minus Y2, you will get H2. Y bar is known here, Y1 and Y2 you have just calculated here. So Y1 is 50, Y2 is 110. So y bar minus y1 you will get h1, y bar minus y2 you will get h2. Now by putting all these value in this particular equations, b1 means what? 20, d1 means what? 100. Means 20 into 100 cube by 12 plus A1 means what? 100 into 20 into H1 means 48.89. Now B2 means 150. D2 means 20 here divided by 12 plus E2 means 150 into 20. H2 means 11.11 square. So it is H2 square, means this square will, even though it is negative, it will be plus. By adding this, you will get the value of moment of inertia, that is nothing but 9.512 into 10 to power 6 mm raised to 4. This is about x axis. Now about y axis, instead of BD cube, it will be DB cube. B1 D1 cube now in for x axis. Now for y axis, it will be D1 B1 cube. Okay, so D1 means what? 100, B1 means 20 cube by 12 plus D2 means 20 into B2 means 150 cube, and this section is symmetrical about y axis, so here H1 and H2 will be 0. So this A1 H1 square and A2 H2 square will not be added about y. Why it is not added? Because center of this section and individual center of the section, they will coincide, means H2 will be 0, H1 will be 0. So we got here Ixx, we got here Iyy. Now just compare these two value. It is 5.705 into 10 to power 6 and it is 9.51 into 10 to power 6. So minimum of these two will be I minimum, and minimum is nothing but Iyy, 5.70. So this is minimum value of moment of inertia that you have to use for Euler's formula. And now using Euler's formula, pi square EI minimum upon L square, pi square into E, 200 GPa is given in the problem here. In the problem, that value of 200 GPa is given. Okay, then I is 5.705. So that I have written over here, E is here, and LM is 4000 mm square. Okay, effective length. By solving this, you will get the value of Euler's formula. First of all in Newton, and then divide by 1000, you will get in kilonewton. So that is called as Euler's load, crippling load, or crushing load, or failure load. So that load is nothing but 703.83 kilonewton. So this is about the second problem. Why this problem is somewhat looking complicated? Just to know the value of y bar and moment of inertia. Now rest of the part is very simple to apply the Euler's formula. Now this third problem. Here an I section joist. Joist means what? Joist means column. Okay. For steel column is called as the joist. Steel column is called as the stanchion. Okay. So joist means column. An I section joist is used as a strut. Okay. Yeah, sorry, joist means beam. Sorry. So joist means beam, means that I section beam is used as a strut. Strut means what? I section को यहाँ पे कॉलम करके यूज किया हुआ है. When both the ends are fixed, when both the ends are fixed, what is the crippling load acting on the column? So crippling load you have to calculate when E equal to 200 GPa and length is equal to 6 meter. Again, this problem is very simple. Only the case is to calculate moment of inertia. That is the somewhat complicated part. Otherwise, it will be very simple. But whenever it is I section having equal size flanges, means that will be symmetrical about x, y. In that case, do not worry about the moment of inertia because it is very simple to calculate. First of all, write down given things. It is fixed at both ends, so effective length will be L by 2, half of 6 meter means 3 meter, equal to 200 GPa. And here you have to calculate the crippling load, means P you have to calculate. So before that you have to calculate moment of inertia. We know that whenever symmetrical I section is given, moment of inertia is calculated using the formula capital BD cube by 12 minus small bd cube by 12. So here what we are assuming? So here to calculate the moment of inertia of this particular section, we are assuming that this is one of the box, and this will be capital B and this will be capital D. So capital BD cube, capital B means what? 200, capital D means 400, 200 into 400 cube by 12 minus small bd cube by 12. Small b means what? Now this part is not part of I section because it is removed, empty portion. It is not a section, I section. So this part you have to remove. Its total width is 200. From 200, if you deduct this 20, that is wave, you will get 180. So that will be small b. A small d means what? Total height is 400. Now from 400, if you deduct this 20, you will get 360. And this 360 will be the small d. If you take this capital BD cube by 12 minus small bd cube by 12, so here you will get moment of inertia about x axis, that is 366.82. And then the same way you find out for IYY, about YY axis. For YY axis, instead of BD cube, it will be DB cube. So B की जगह क्या होगा? D 400 into 200 cube by 12 minus 360 into 180 cube by 12. So here you will get IYY. Same thing I have did here. तो db क्यूब की जगह यहाँ पे होना चाहिए, sorry, bd क्यूब की जगह here we have taken bd cube, now here we have taken db cube. Okay, so that only is the change. Okay, so do the calculation, find out the moment of inertia value. So it is 2.91 into 10 to power 6. This is IYY, 2.91 10 to power 6, and it is 366.82. Means here IYY is minimum, and that IYY is nothing but I minimum. Okay, because in the formula we are using I minimum, so here IYY is less than IXX, so I minimum will be IYY. So this term you have to use in the calculation. So using Euler's formula, P is equal to pi square EI minimum upon EL square. We have to calculate this crippling load P, put pi square value, E value, then moment of inertia value, and effective length ELE. Okay, solving this, we will get crippling load as 638.29 to 10 to power 3 Newton. First answer will be always in Newton because we are taking all these terms in Newton mm, because E also taken in MPM is 200 Newton per mm square. Okay, I minimum mm raised to 4. So first answer will be in Newton divided by 1000. You will get the value 638.294 kilonewton. That is the crippling load. Okay, so in this way you have to find out the value of crippling load when I section is given. Now see the fourth problem. Here again it is somewhat different from previous problems. Compare the ratio of solid column section to that of hollow section of same cross sectional area. दोनों का cross sectional area क्या है? Same. One is solid column. Solid means what? Not having hollow portion. And another is hollow section. The internal diameter of hollow section of the column is 3/4 of external diameter. Both columns are having same length and pinned at both the ends. Pinned means what? Hinged at both the ends. This is the end condition given. And both are having same length, both are having same cross sectional area, means that part you have to equate. That's why these sentences are mentioned. So there are two types of column. One is solid column, so I have shown here, and another is hollow column. That hollow column will be here. For solid column, I will assume that diameter D, its area will be for S for solid column AS, pi by 4 D square. And for hollow column, I will take external diameter as a capital D1, and small diameter means here it is given that internal diameter is 3/4 of external. So this small d1 will be 3/4 of external means d1, 3/4 of d1, 3/4 means what? 0.75 d1. And we know that area of hollow column is calculated using the formula pi by 4 capital D raised to 4 minus small d raised to 4. Here capital D is d1 and small d is d1, small d1. So pi by 4 capital D1 raised to 4, small d1 is 0.75 d1. You put this value here instead of small d1 and write down like this. And here it is given that area of both the columns are same, so we can equate here area of solid column equal to area of hollow column. Then here this pi by 4 will get cancelled, and d square is equal to d1 square minus 0.75 d1 square. We will get some relation by cancelling this pi by 4. Remaining terms is this one and this one, and this is 1. Here it will be 1 into d1 square minus 0.56 d1 square. Here you have to make the square of this 0.75 bracket square a. Okay, so 0.75 bracket square, so it will be 0.56 d1 square. So 1 minus 0.56, here you will get 0.4375 d1. So you got the relation d square is equal to 0.4375 d1 square. If you take square root of this, you will get that value as a capital D is equal to 0.6614 d1 by taking square of this. Okay, this is D is equal to, if you want to write down d1 equal to, means it will be 1 upon 0.644 करोगे तो 1, this 1 divided by this, you will get relation as d1 equal to 1.51 d. Okay, you can either write down capital D equal to or small d1 equal to, because this relation you have to use in next step. So this is about having same area. Now find out moment of inertia of both the sections. Mi of solid section, we know that it is the for having the formula Mi of solid section pi by 64 d raised to 4. Okay, and d is 0.6614. Okay, so put that sorry, pi by 64 means it is 0.49 d raised to 4. So it is equation 1. Mi for hollow section, it is pi by 64, capital D raised to 4 minus small d raised to 4. So capital D1 will be as it is and small d1 is 0.75 d1, that we know here. Okay, then by put it is 0.75 into d1 bracket raised to 4. So 0.75 raised to 4. Okay, 0.75 raised to 4 करोगे और here it is 1 pi by 64 इंटू 1 माइनस दिस 0.75 डी रेज टू 4, अगर ये करोगे तो आपको मिलेगा 0.03353 d1 रेज टू 4. Okay, that will be moment of inertia of hollow section. So now we got both the values of moment of inertia, this solid one and for hollow one. Now what is given here, what you have to calculate in the problem? Compare the ratio of solid section to that of hollow section. Ratio means what? Here you have to take the strength ratio. Here you just write down one important thing. You have to compare the strength ratio. Strength means what? What will be the load carrying capacity when it is solid, and what will be the load carrying capacity when it is circular one, hollow circular one. Means in both the cases you have to calculate the loads. So when crippling load can be calculated for solid section. So PS using Euler's formula, pi square E IS upon ELE square. Okay, so here pi square E ELE you put as it is. Only here moment of inertia for IS means what? For solid section you put this value here. Okay, this one, and solve this. You keep this E d raised to 4 ELE square as it is. This is the strength of solid section. Similarly calculate the strength of hollow section. Okay, here you keep all the value as it is and take IH, hollow section ka moment of inertia 0.3358. Okay, by putting that, and it is raised to 4. Okay, so that's why, yes, one thing, it is d1 raised to 4 here. Okay, so it is d1 raised to 4, you write down as it is, then put d1 is equal to 1.511 d. So that we have proved here. Where that relation is there, this one, capital D1, because all the terms should be in one entity. Here it is D and here it is D1, it is not acceptable. So that's why I am converting this D1 in terms of D. Okay, so we will get strength of hollow section in this way. Okay, so here you have to find out the ratio of strength of solid to strength of solid section. So strength PS upon PH, this PS upon PH, take this ratio. So this, okay, is divided by, this is divided by, this divided by this one, pi square E into, yeah, divided by L square, and here L square will cancel, pi square E, this E will cancel, pi will cancel. Okay, here you keep this pi square as it is so that it will be cancelled, and try to solve it. You will get that ratio as 3.563. Okay, so that is the ratio of solid section to hollow section. Okay, so in this way you have to solve the problems on Euler's theory for different end condition for different cross sections. So in next lecture, we'll discuss about the Rankine's theory to calculate the crippling load or failure load. Okay. Thank you very much.